preschool friends, my name is Miss Taylor and I'm so excited to be teaching you guys about the solar system today. So does anybody know what is in the solar system? Does anyone know? Great job! So in the solar system you might find planets like the planet Earth, which is what we live on. You might find some stars, maybe some asteroids, maybe the moon and the sun. Great job, everybody! So today we're going to be reading this book called I Am the Solar System. And this book is written by Rebecca and James McDonald. And while we read this book, we're going to follow along and draw pictures so that we have a visual of our solar system. So to do this, you're just going to need a white sheet of paper and some markers, crayons, whatever you prefer to use. So I have my little board right here and I'm going to draw it along with you. All right, so let's begin. I am the solar system. I'm the place where your planet, Earth, and 7 other planets circle around a very important star called the sun. So here we have our sun. So we see the sun every day here. Some days a little bit more than others. Like we see the sun a little bit more in the summer because it's sunnier. So we can draw our sun. So the sun is yellow or orange and it's really, really big. And this is the center of our solar system. So I'm just going to draw the sun right up here and color it in. And you can draw your suns as big as you want because the sun is really, really big. It's really large. All right, great job, friends. Okay. I'm like a big neighborhood and the sun is right in the middle. So there's our sun and all of our planets. The sun is the biggest object in the neighborhood. Its gravity keeps all kinds of objects circling around it. You can't see gravity, but it keeps things from floating away, even you. So we have our kind of visual for gravity, even though you can't actually see gravity. And there's it holding on the earth, which is, we're on the earth, so that's why gravity keeps us from floating away. When one or more objects circle around another object, it's called orbiting. The planets orbit the sun, and many have moons that orbit them. So here's the planets orbiting around the sun, which means that they're revolving around the sun. Time to explore the neighborhood. There's no air to breathe once you leave Earth, and space is really cold. So a special spacecraft and spacesuit are needed for traveling the solar system. Ready for blast off? 3, 2, 1. Just ahead is the first and closest planet to the sun, Mercury. It's also the smallest planet. So this is Mercury, so it's a light blue, so we can go ahead and draw this one. And this is the closest planet to the sun, so we can use a light blue marker and just draw a little dot right by the sun because it's the smallest planet. Okay. Venus is the second planet from the sun. Even though it's not the closest, it's the hottest planet in this solar system. So we have Venus and it's kind of like an orangish red color. So since it's really, really hot, we're going to make it red. And since it's the second planet from the sun, we can just draw it a little bit further out than Mercury and also make it a little bit bigger, since Mercury is the smallest planet. great job. The third planet from the sun is Earth. That's where you live. Earth is the only planet in this solar system that holds all kinds of life on its surface. So yeah, we live on the planet Earth. So here's the Earth. So it's blue, which is the ocean, and then green, which is the land. So we live on the land. So we live on the green part. So we can go ahead and draw our planet Earth. So we can draw it, since it's the third planet out from the sun, we can draw it right here. So there's our ocean part of it, and then we of course need to add the land, which is where we live. All right, there we go. So there's our planet Earth. Okay. The fourth planet orbiting the sun is Mars. Many spacecraft have visited the red planet Mars. So here we have Mars. So it looks like Mars is kind of like an orangish red color. So we can go ahead and draw our planet Mars. So I'm going to make it orange. Maybe add some red to it also. So there we go. So there's our Mars. And remember, that's the fourth planet out from the sun. Great job. Planets aren't the only things that orbit the sun. Just after Mars is the asteroid belt. The asteroid belt is filled with dust, asteroids, and even a dwarf planet named Ceres. Okay, so after Mars we have an asteroid belt. So we can go ahead and draw that. So we're going to draw this so it goes the whole way around since it's a belt. Looks like my markers. There we go. All right. All right, there we go. So there's our asteroid belt, and we have our little dwarf planet, which we can make, how about right here? Just really tiny since it's just a dwarf planet, which means it's really small. Great job. Okay. Tighten your seatbelt. It could get a little bumpy, but don't worry about crashing into anything. Asteroids in the asteroid belt are far apart from each other. Asteroids are mostly made of rock. Some are tiny and some are gigantic. So some are really, really little and some are huge. Just past the asteroid belt is the fifth and largest planet orbiting the sun, Jupiter. Scientists call it a gas giant because its surface is made of gas and liquid. That means there's no ground for a spaceship to land on. All right, so here we have Jupiter. So it looks like it's kind of maybe like a yellow and a red mix. So we're going to, so it's the biggest planet. So we're going to make it a little bit bigger than the rest of them, but still not anywhere near as big as the sun, because the sun is the largest. All right, there we go. The sixth planet from the sun is Saturn. It's also a gas giant. The rings that circle Saturn are made of ice, rock, and dust. Saturn's strong gravity keeps the rings from floating away. So here's Saturn. So this is kind of like a yellowish orange planet, and it has these rings that go around it. That's pretty cool. So we can draw Saturn. And we can't forget about its rings. All right, so we have Saturn and Saturn's rings. Okay. The 7th planet from the sun is Uranus. It's called an ice giant because it's very icy and cold. All right, so we have Uranus, which is this like light blue color because it's really, really cold. All right. Neptune is the 8th and farthest planet from the sun. It's also an ice giant. Scientists found Neptune by using numbers and math before they actually even saw it. That's pretty cool. So it looks like Neptune is kind of a dark blue color, and this is the farthest planet from the sun. All right. Neptune is the farthest planet from the sun, but the solar system doesn't end there. Next is the Kuiper Belt. It's a giant freezing ring filled with rocks, dust, ice, and other space objects. The dwarf planet Pluto is part of the Kuiper Belt. All right, so we can draw our Kuiper Belt, which is going to look sort of similar to the asteroid belt, so it's going to go around kind of like that one did. But we can't forget to add Pluto to this one. All right, so we can add Pluto, which is kind of a dark brown color, so we'll put it over here. And Pluto is really, really tiny. Okay. Keep an eye out for bright objects with long streaking tails speeding through space. They're called comets. The sun holds the planets and other space objects in place with its gravity. It also protects the solar system in a giant bubble made of solar wind. The solar wind comes off of the sun's hot surface and blows in every direction, past the planets, even beyond the Kuiper Belt. It blows as far as it can until it forms a giant bubble around the solar system called the heliosphere. So there's a giant bubble, the heliosphere. That's a big word. Outside of the heliosphere is where scientists say the solar system comes to an end and interstellar space begins. Interstellar space is the space between stars. So we see stars in our sky every night when we look up. There are only 2 spacecraft that have made it out of the solar system and into interstellar space, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, and they are still exploring. So that's really, really cool. So 2 spacecraft have been out of the solar system and into the interstellar space when they can really get a close look at the stars. I'm not the only solar system in space. There are many more stars out there with planets that orbit them, but so far, I'm the only solar neighborhood with a planet that's filled with life. And that's Earth. That's where we live. The end. All right, great job, friends. So here we have our solar system picture. So we have our sun, which is the biggest. That's what every planet revolves around. And then we have all of our planets: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. And then we also have our belts. Great job, friends! Alright friends, so great job with the story and drawing your own solar system. So now we're going to be doing a really, really fun math activity where we're actually going to be counting stars and putting them into our night sky. So in the book, we learned about how there are stars in our solar system and in our galaxy. So we're actually going to be making our own night sky today. So what we're going to need is our paper of yellow stars, a pair of scissors, a piece of black paper. It can be construction paper, or if you want to color a paper black, that works too. We're going to need some glitter glue, and this is going to represent the stars that are a little bit farther away in our night sky because some of them are bigger than others. And then we're going to need a glue stick to glue down our yellow stars that we cut out. Alright, so first we are going to very carefully cut out our yellow stars. So remember, when we're using scissors, we're very careful. We hold them with our thumb in one hole and our pointer finger in the other one. And when we're cutting the paper, we want to make sure that our other hand is never in the way of the scissors. We want to make sure that our other hand is always behind the scissors when we're carefully cutting out our stars. They don't have to be perfect. If they're not perfect, that's totally okay. So we're just going to carefully cut them out. Alright friends, so I have very carefully cut out all of my little stars. So first what we're going to do is we're going to cover the paper in glitter glue. However you want to do it, if you want to use colors, that's okay, but I'm just going to be using gold and silver. And you can do it however you want, and that will represent the stars that are a little bit farther away in our solar system, galaxy. So I'm just going to start with doing this. You can make different kinds of designs if you want, however you want to do it. So I'm going to make some swirls. Alright, so I finished adding my glitter glue. So if you want to give it a cool effect, this is completely up to you. You don't have to do it, but you can just take a crumbled up tissue and just kind of swirl it around to make the sparkles and the glitter glue go all over the page so it's not just in clumps, to make it look like more of a night sky, sort of. Alright, so there we go. So I think it looks really, really cool. It's very glittery now, so it looks a lot like the night sky. Alright, so now we can start our math activity with the stars. Alright friends, so now that we have our glitter glue down, now we can start the math part of this activity. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll this die, and once we have a number that it lands on, so say it lands on 2, we're going to count out 2 stars and glue them onto our night sky galaxy. Alright, so here we go. What number do we think it's going to land on first? 2, there we go. Alright, so we can count on 2 stars, 1 and 2. So now that we've counted out our 2 stars, now we can put glue on the back of them, and we can just glue it onto our night sky. Alright, great job friends. So let's see what our next number is. 6, that's a big number. Alright, so we're going to count out 6 stars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have our 6 stars here. So now we can glue our 6 stars onto our paper here. Alright, great job. So let's see what number it is next. 4. Alright, so let's count out 4 stars. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, let's glue them on. Alright, so it looks like we've glued a lot of stars onto our paper here. So let's count how many stars we've glued on total. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So we glued on 12 total stars. Great job, everyone. Alright, so now we're going to do a super fun science experiment. I'm really excited about this one. I don't know about you guys, but I'm very excited. So for this, we're going to need some milk, some Q-tips, some containers, so a little one and a bigger one, some dish soap, and then some food coloring, pretty much whatever colors you want, but yeah, any color will work. Alright, so first we're going to start with our container here, and we're going to very carefully just pour some milk into it. You don't need too much, but just enough. Alright, perfect. And then we're going to take our smaller container, so I just used a little cup, and I'm just going to pour a very little bit of dish soap in here. So just enough to dip the Q-tip in. So I just put a little bit in there, just like that. Alright, so here we have our milk and our food coloring, and then our dish soap, our Q-tips. So in the book, we learned about the solar system. So in the solar system, there are some stars, planets, asteroids, moons, a lot of different things. So we're actually going to create our own solar system, and we're going to actually watch it move, which is going to be super cool. Alright, so using our food coloring, we can add different things to it. So in the book, it kind of looked like the solar system was sort of dark. So first we're going to take some black food coloring, but you can do it however you want, and you just need a few drops. You can put them wherever you want. Alright. And then maybe some blue also, because it also looked a little bit blue. When we look up at the sky is blue during the day. Alright, looks pretty cool. And then of course we have our sun, which is a yellowish orange color, so we can add some yellow. Alright. And then, so our earth is green and blue, so we can add some green, and the green can also represent maybe some other planets or other objects in the sky. Alright, and then we also have this kind of like turquoisey blue color, so maybe we can add some of that too. Alright. And maybe last we'll add some purple. Alright. Okay, so it looks like we have a lot of color in our solar system galaxy here. So now what we can do is we can actually watch it move. So we can take a Q-tip and dip it in our dish soap. Make sure we really cover it. Okay. And then just carefully place it in our milk. Wow. And watch it move. So there we go. Our solar system galaxy is moving. It's pretty cool. And we can dip the other end into some more dish soap if we want to. And make it move some more. Very cool. If we want, we can take our Q-tip and kind of swirl it around to make it move a little bit more. Make it really look like a galaxy solar system. Alright. That is pretty cool. Alright, great job everyone. So you can play around with it as much as you want. If you want to keep playing, maybe adding some more dish soap and see how it looks after a while, you can definitely do that, but great job. Alright, preschool friends, so great job with our lesson today. So just to review a little bit, does anybody remember the planets that are in our solar system? All right, great job. So the planets in our solar system are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and then we have a dwarf planet called Pluto. And also in our solar system, we have stars, which is what we see when we look up at night into the sky. We have the moon, and just a lot of different things are in our solar system. So great job, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this lesson. Bye.